It's me, your boyfriend slash girlfriend slash friend's favorite content creator. And we're going to do a little bit of a follow-up to the last video I posted earlier today, like really early in the morning, like 1 a.m. I want to talk a little about Star Wars. I promise it's not going to be a long video because I just want to get a couple of points across. First and foremost, I feel like a lot of the Star Wars fans who are in that comment section or in general who leave out the comments online, I feel like you guys aren't enjoying anything because you don't allow yourself to enjoy stuff. I feel like a lot of you guys are stuck in the past where things have to be like they were in 1977, even though George Lucas didn't even follow his own fucking canon. I mean, hell, Luke and Leia were making out, and by the end of the trilogy, they're brother and sister. It's only 3 films. Ideas formulate and change over time. There's not a franchise, a long-running franchise, especially with such a huge canon, that is the exact same forever. And you shouldn't want that either. If we bring it towards Acolyte now, which is the hot button, right? I don't care if you don't like it. I really don't. It's whatever. People aren't going to like the same things. But I think it's extremely disingenuous to try to act like it is the sole focal point of everything bad with Star Wars ever, and you're talking about canon being broken and how, you know, I just saw an argument online. People were like, well, why is, spoilers for the newest episode, but it's like, why is he using Corsus? Isn't it supposed to be a rare thing? It's like, this is the High Republic era. Like, it could be less rare, but even if it is still rare, he's the only one who has it. Like, back with the First Order, all those ships being made, who wasn't tracking where those supplies were going? Oh, but they're going to an uncharted region of space. Okay, but someone was sitting that there. Wouldn't the people in power at that time, with the good guys, be able to track where else which they're going? Like, there's certain things you have to give up. It's a suspension of disbelief. Another person in my comment section with a lengthy comment and was talking about how it doesn't obey physics. Since when does Star Wars do that in general? Since when does Star Wars obey physics? The Force itself, kind of physics defying. Like, and I believe they're referring to the scene where there's, fire in space? And if that's the case, Star Wars also has explosions in space that make sounds that shouldn't be possible because, you know, no sound in space. It's not how space works. Yeah, no problem with that. When the lasers are being fired and they're making a noise coming out, that should also not have a sound. Like, Princess Leia surviving the vacuum escape with the Force. Like, there's so many things there. But ultimately, I feel like you guys, like, just, I don't know why you don't want to enjoy this. I've seen so many Star Wars fans online talking about how Star Wars is dead. Chris Gore's doing a whole funeral for Star Wars on July 17th. And I'm like, if you don't enjoy it or you don't like it anymore, why are you watching it? You've already stated this is the worst thing to ever happen ever. Then stop watching it. Why would you continue to watch it? Hate watching is stupid. Like, if you don't like it, don't watch it. But I again, I need you guys to be real, okay? People are talking about the dialogue. Star Wars is not Citizen Kane, okay? It's called jizz music. The bad guys are so on the nose. Darth Maul, Darth Plagueis. And that's not to say that films aren't good or aren't enjoyable, but let's be real. It's Star Wars. On the grand scheme of things, it is a story about just good and evil. But because on the bigger theme, right, the grander scheme, that's the story, you can tell smaller, a little bit more nuanced stories. That's why you get like Andor. That's why you have like The Mandalorian. That's why you even have Grey Jedis and stuff, right? But you can tell those granular stories within the larger context. I don't know why this is the bad thing. Like, again, people, I'm going specifically for my comment section. People are talking about, oh, well, it breaks canon and breaks lore. Who's canon? Lucas's canon? The extended universe is canon? Disney's canon? Like, whose canon is it breaking? And also, when I can tell it's not breaking canon, the Jedi, for the longest time, have always made mistakes as an order. That's kind of their whole thing. They always fuck around and then find out much, much, much later. Remember, they couldn't even tell those to sit in front of them in the prequels, which were done by Lucas. You had Palpatine sitting right fucking there. they were blinded by it. They couldn't see it. That's been a theme for forever. Like, literally, it's been a theme of Star Wars for forever. But now when it's happening in the Acolyte, oh, see, they don't know anything about Star Wars history. It's like, come on. Like, what's going on here? If you don't like the show, like I said, fine. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like any Star Wars stuff. But then I would ask you, why are you still talking about it? Why is every conversation of people who seem to be enjoying the series more than people talking about only real Star Wars fans wouldn't watch this or wouldn't like this or whatever. Why are you trying to gatekeep Star Wars? Dead franchise. It's creatively dead. And we just saw one of the coolest fight scenes that was pretty fucking creative from a choreographed standpoint, from using extended canon lore, which is what you guys want, but then when they do use it, it's bad. Like, to me, ultimately, it seems like if it's not done in a very hyper-specific way, meaning like 77 to like 82, when was Return of the Jedi? But like, and if it's not within that time period, then it doesn't count as bad. Because it has to be this way. It's like, no, let people tell new stories. Like, Acolyte's not for you. Okay, watch Andor, watch Book of Boba Fett if you want. Watch something else. Not everything has to be for you. You can't sit here and tell me that every even Star Wars extended canon thing you read and you loved every single one of them. I'm sure you didn't, and that's fine. But to go after people who are enjoying it, to again, try to review bomb a show, like, I don't understand that. It seems like to me, you guys aren't fans of Star Wars. You're fans of a very particular time in Star Wars, most likely attached to when you first got into it, and everything else is bad. Just like when I was younger, I used to watch Teen Titans, and then the Teen Titans Go came out, and everyone my age was like attacking Teen Titans Go, not realizing it wasn't for them. That's just always what happens. And I don't know why you guys can't see that. Not everything is going to be for you. Star Wars is for everyone, but something for everyone also means there's certain things that aren't for you because you're not everyone. Does that make sense to you? Like, if it's going to have a general appeal to wide audiences, it's going to appeal to different parts of the audience for different reasons. Am I making myself clear? You don't have to like an Acolyte. I'm sure a lot of you don't. But okay then don't like it. But to be like, why do you enjoy it? It's ruining canon. It's breaking this, it's breaking that. When the guy who created the whole canon of stuff, he never really considered the extended canon stuff to be canon, right? Like, Lucas was always pretty consistent, relatively speaking, within his own films, aside from the part I mentioned before, but to the canon of his own films. A lot of you guys are complaining about stuff that happened in like extended universe and novelizations. Those things weren't canon, which is why Lucas didn't use them, which is most likely why Disney doesn't really go by them, except for when they want to maybe borrow from them. That's the thing about canon, you guys. Canon changes depending on who owns it. I'm sorry to break it to you. Lucas doesn't own the canon anymore. Whatever he's done, they can respect it, but if they want to change it, they can. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Oh, you're mad about the Force being used to create life. You must have hate Darth Plagueis then. Because that's what he could do. He could do that. But because lesbian space witches, which I'm sorry, that's not the coolest shit ever. Do it. It's what, pushing an agenda? Of what? Cool shit? Going back to the comment now, I'll be done, I promise. Again, it was a very long comment. They also mentioned how it's supposed to be a lesbian utopia. Is it? Or is it because you guys know that one of the creators or the head producer is a lesbian woman and you're saying that's infecting everything? Because I'm not seeing lesbian utopia in this. I'm not even really seeing a utopia. I don't get it. So by that logic, was the original Star Wars trilogy a heterosexual utopia? When Lucas and his wife got divorced, it was in the prequels. Was that divorced dad energy movies? Like what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Again, I need you guys to really let go of this concept of like, this is the only way things can be. It's a story. It needs to evolve. It needs to change. It has to modernize. It has to, keep itself relevant. It has to do different things. Your guys' logic would actually kill a franchise. If you do not adapt If you do not mold and get better, or at least, like I said, adapt with the times, you're going to get left behind. That's just how life works. Like, if we take one of the themes in Star Wars, right? The Jedi did not adapt and evolve. The Sith were always adapting and evolving, which is why the Sith always have the advantage. That's why every fucking movie, the Sith have the big, powerful stuff. The Sith are the ones doing things differently. The Jedi were so holden to tradition that it wouldn't let them progress. Like, that was always their problem. And we're seeing this play out here. Some of you guys who say you're fans don't want the series to evolve in any way, shape, or form. But that's crazy to me. Like, that is literally what leads to the faults in the Jedi, not evolving. Like, okay.